Okay, welcome to my real estate advisor's tutorial on how to upload properties from Dropbox into Domain. So we start off by going through a Dropbox file. This one's been provided by Inspire Homes, which is in connection with Metricon and MetInvest. So you'll go through and you find the file that you want. So they've got lots of different files on here to help you with the sales process, which probably won't be relevant to this video. So we're looking for the stock list, and we're going to find the stock list in a minute, hopefully, and this will give you an idea of what the stock looks like. So you have to take a few notes, or you can copy and paste information if possible. If it's a PDF, then it's probably not going to work, but you want to take a few notes down. So you want the price of the property, the size of the property, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, location, and a few other bits and bobs, which will come up in the description of what the property is. So when this loads up in a minute, it'll find the stock list. There we go. So this is through MetInvest, which is Metricon owned business. So you go through, scroll through. I'm going to do an example for one for Queensland, and I'll co-list this with one of my agents just as an example. So we've got a lot of stock images that you can use. Now eventually I'm going to find a listing here, so I've chosen this one in Queensland, which is 236 in Narragarebba, which is in an Amity estate, and the price is $484,787. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, double garage property. The house size is, or the floor plan is 182 square meters, and the block of land it's sitting on is a 300 square meter block, which all needs to go, that information needs to go into Domain. So once you've got that information written down, or you've got a note of that, then you can go back into Domain and then start the uploading process and put the information in. So once you've logged into Domain, you want to go into the part where it's add listings. So you click add listings, and then it's a sale, and then hopefully it'll come up with the options for sale. And I think when I made this video it played up a little bit. So okay, so you're going through and you select the type of sale. Oh, this is where it went wrong, sorry. Okay, so it's going to go back to listings now and add a sale eventually. To add a sale, yeah, this is where I click on the wrong button. Okay, add a sale, there we go. Add a sale, add listings, sorry, add listings, and then sale, residential sale, because it's residential property. And then you've got your type, so you click down, you have a Dropbox, and then you just choose for sale, and then the type of property that you're selling is a house and land, new house and land. Put your reference number in here. It can be any reference number you want, but you need a reference number to go in there. Okay, with the address, you want to put the lot number as the number, and the street name as the estate, so it would be Amity or Narrabang or whatever it is. I always put suburb only, because this is where you won't fall into any arguments then with the developers or anybody else, because you're not showing the full address, because this property isn't completed and there's all the marketing and advertising going on. So always make sure it's suburb only. You start typing the suburb into the search here, and then it'll come up with a Dropbox, and it should find the suburb for you automatically, and then it'll auto populate whatever you click on. So it should come up with the suburb, and it has done, so that's good. Okay, so then moving down, make sure it's suburb only. I can't emphasize that enough. Put the bedrooms in, so 2 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, double garage, Floor space was 182 square meters. I wrote that down earlier on. If you're not too sure, refer back to your documents in Dropbox on your stock list just to confirm all the numbers are totally correct. So you want to make sure that all the information is 100% correct, because otherwise there might be some sort of comeback. So yeah, make sure all that information's up to date and correct. So it's 182 square meters, and it was 300-meter block of land, and it says that in the breakdown. You follow the key at the top, it tells you exactly how many bedrooms and everything else, and if the land's registered and all sorts of different bits and bobs. It's fairly simplistic. Okay, so hopefully this will come up in a minute with, yeah, so I'll take a few notes. Okay, there we go. So for floor space, type that in, 182 square meters. Land area is 300 square meters. And then energy efficiency I always put as 10 because it's a brand new property. Then you put the price in directly, what the price is listed at. So this one is $484,782. So you just write the numbers in exactly how they appear. You don't have to put any dashes in or zeros or whatever. It's just the way it is. So then you click through the inclusions, and you put the very basics of inclusions down. So we're putting air conditioning, ensuite, built-in wardrobes, internal laundry, dishwasher. It's on the ground floor, double glazing, water efficient stuff, ceiling fans, all that kind of stuff. The property should come with this, and secured parking, and it's fully fenced, and it'll have a garden, all the rest of it. So then you put your headline in. Your headline can be whatever you want within reason. Something normally upbeat would be good. So I think writing, brand new property in the suburb or whatever. And then what I'm going to do from there on in is, now what was missed when this video was made was the disclaimer part, but we'll get to that in a minute. What I added on originally was information about the property area, so where the property is being built. So what I've done for that is I've gone to Google and looked at Wikipedia, and I've just copied and pasted some information directly from Wikipedia and Google, just so there's some basic information in there about the local area. Now that's normally what you put into the notes is about the local areas, if it's close to shops and transport and schools and all sorts of things like that. So that information should be on the internet anywhere. Now you can copy other descriptions and other things from other locations and stuff, but in all fairness, as long as you've mentioned what the property is, where it is, you put your disclaimer in to say that the photographs used are renderings and things like that. They're not of the actual property because it hasn't been built yet. So here you can see I'm going into Google, and I'm going to start doing a bit of research now on what's available and all the rest of it. So on the suburb itself, when it was built, how long it's been going, if it's got transport links, all that kind of thing. So the information should be in Wikipedia. So I'll take a little bit of information from each part, put that in. Now this is just so the person gets a brief idea of what the suburb's like. They've got a description of the property, so you've covered that part. The disclaimer part covers you from a legal stance that you're not showing exact pictures of the actual property because it's not been built yet. So that covers you for that. So you can do as many generic adverts as you like based on this information. So you're grabbing information on the suburb and the location, putting that into the description, putting your disclaimer in, using generic photographs and that kind of thing. And this way, and also only showing the suburb address, not the actual full address, because then this way you are not stepping on anybody else's toes when it comes to advertising and marketing, because there's a lot of different builders and developers that we work with, and they've got lots of various different marketing methods that they go about. So here you can see I'm putting the basic information in onto the description. I will come back at a later stage and the disclaimer, because I forgot to do that originally when I made this video. I'm adding this voiceover on after the fact because my microphone was playing up on my laptop, so I've had to re-record this onto my phone to then do a voiceover. So once you get to this page now, where you click next, you're now going to add the photographs. So at each stage it'll ask you to click next to the next page, and you'll go through to the next page. So this is where you now, hopefully I will have sent a load of different photographs out and all that kind of thing, so you'll have access to a lot of different photos you can use. So I've got a lot of different options here. So you choose your first photo will be of the outside of the property, which will be a rendering of a low set 4-bedroom design, and then you want to find some internal shots. I tend to use internal shots from display homes and things like that, and I'll go through and choose between 6 and 8 photographs as a minimum. So if it's a 4-bedroom, it's nice to put 4 different bedrooms into the mix, a bathroom picture or 2 bathroom pictures if possible, and a living area, and that's about it really. You don't really need much more than that, so they get the gist. And they're going to be generic white interior photographs of, you know, neat and tidy display home property stuff. So it's all very vanilla. At the end of the day, when it's new properties, people just want to see clean lines, neat and tidy stuff, and that kind of thing. So, and that's all that you're showing them really. Nice bathrooms, nice kitchens, nice neat and tidy bedrooms, things like that with double beds in them, that type of thing. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm just searching through different photographs to try and find the ones that are going to look good. As far as I can remember, I only put about 6 pictures on this one for time, because I wanted to whiz through this as quickly as possible. And you know, you can take more time over what photographs you choose and what exteriors and all that kind of thing. You want to make sure that you're putting in different combinations every single time when you're uploading properties in various different locations and things like that. This is all based around uploading as many listings as possible to getting as many inquiries as possible to then service those inquiries with the different developers and builders. So really, we're looking for people clicking on stuff and contacting us. In a nutshell, that's the main aim of the game, and for each agent to have around about 100 listings going up, generic listings across the board in multiple locations, and then from those leads that are generated, we can then service those leads and look after the buyers and find them the deal that they're looking for. So there we go. So we put that in. There's not going to be a floor plan attached with this one because we haven't got a floor plan available for this particular item. We'd have to get in touch with the developer. We select the agents that are going to be looking after it. We can't put open homes and times for inspections in, which is listed above, because the house isn't built, so that's not relevant. So you just leave that blank. That's not going to be an issue. People will contact you to then discuss meeting a developer, and then save and close. And then you get to the part now where there's a link at the top there in that sort of yellowy colour thing. Now you have to give it at least about 30 seconds for it to actually catch up to you. Sometimes if you click that link beforehand, it doesn't show anything. So you need to give that link time to populate. So once you've given it a few seconds, you can then click onto it and it should take you to the listing. I'm now looking for the disclaimer, so I'm going to go through the documents and try and find the disclaimer, which will be sent to everybody that needs it so they can use it to add to every single listing. So we're covered from a legal stance that the photographs that we use, you know, generic photographs and so on and so forth. So eventually I'll find this disclaimer and I'm going to add it back onto this listing in a minute. So I'll find it soon. So as I say, with this, there's a couple of things to remember. So suburb only is very important, that you don't list the full address, because when people are inquiring, then we can then give them the information about what the property is, where it is and everything else, and that might help drive more inquiry. Also, it doesn't step on anybody's toes if they're advertising or if they're using any other agents or anything like that. So we can get away with doing that, so that's all fine. You want to make sure you put the disclaimer in. This is why I'm going out of my way now to find the disclaimer document to copy and paste it in to the description part. You want to do a little bit of research on the local area, so you can add some information in about the area, if it's, you know, what the transport links are like, what the schools are like, or something like that. And then there's all sorts of other information that might come up about, they might run a festival every year or something, or there's all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff that you can find out about each location. So you can see here I'm going to copy and paste this disclaimer eventually when it works. I think when I was using Loom, this was slowing everything down and it wasn't coming out fantastic, so it was taking me a while to get this copy and paste thing to work, so I was getting a little bit upset with it. So eventually I copy and paste this into the description for this listing. So I've gone back into it, I check that the listing is activated and live, so we click on the link, and this should then take us to the listing, how it's going to appear on Domain at the moment. So there you go, you can see that's what it looks like, and the photographs have come in there, and the price is there, 4 bedrooms, who the agents are, so they click on there and find the agent's number and everything else, and that's all done. Okay, and then I think I'm clicking into it now to then alter it. So I'm going into listings, the company listings, to then find this listing, which might take a little bit of time because there's a couple of hundred listings on there all up. So I'm going to scroll through. I think it was on page 2, and as far as I can remember, I because this is running at a go slow thing that's out of sync, and clicked on the wrong listing, and then that brought the wrong information up, so I have to go back into it and do it again. So I'm going through this now, trying to find